All right, let's get right into it, because a massive political firestorm is kicking off in Washington over the Jeffrey Epstein files. And this isn't just about old secrets. We're talking about a White House threat and a full-blown rebellion brewing inside the GOP.
I mean, this is a seriously high-stakes showdown. On one side, you have the Trump administration, and on the other, a handful of rebels in his own party who are trying to force every single secret into the light.
So you've got this rogue Republican leading the charge, a White House that is not playing around, and the truth just hanging in the balance. Yeah, the fight is on.
Okay, but before we get into the nitty-gritty, if you want to stay on top of wild stories like this one, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. All right, let's break it down.
So, you probably heard all the noise about a massive document dump, but here's the real question. Was it the bombshell we were all waiting for, or was it just a big nothing burger?
Yeah, the headlines were absolutely massive. The House Oversight Committee released over 33,000 pages of documents. Now, on the surface, that sounds huge, right? Like a major breakthrough.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. When you actually look at what was in those files, a whopping 97% of it was stuff that was already public. That leaves just this tiny 3% sliver of anything new.
And you better believe Democrats jumped all over this. Representative Robert Garcia basically said, "Don't let this fool you." He called it a spectacle, pointing out there was no client list, nothing that really moves the needle on transparency. For a lot of people, this just wasn't cutting it.
And that, right there, is where our story gets really interesting. It's time to meet the rebels, because an unlikely alliance has formed, and let's just say they are not satisfied. They are fighting back. So, leading this whole thing are two people you would almost never expect to see on the same team. You've got Republican Thomas Massie and Democrat Khanna. They've put their differences aside to push for one thing: total transparency.
So how are they going to pull this off? Well, they're using this super rare, kind of like a secret weapon in Congress. It's called a discharge petition. Basically, if they can get enough people to sign it, they can go right around the party bosses and force a vote to release everything.
And Massie's not alone. He's actually starting to build a little army here. So far, he's got folks like Nancy Mace, Lauren Boebert, and even a staunch Trump ally and Marjorie Taylor Greene signing on. They're building a real coalition.
Okay, but a rebellion like this, it doesn't exactly fly under the radar. The White House is watching, and now they're pushing back hard. Yeah, check out this warning a White House official gave to CNN. They said that helping Massie and the Democrats would be viewed as a very hostile act to the administration. Whoa, that is not a subtle message at all.
And this isn't just some rumor. Massie himself is on the record saying there is a major pressure campaign coming straight from the White House and the Speaker's office, trying to shut this whole thing down. The heat is definitely on.
So you got to be asking, right? Why? Why would they risk ticking off the president and their own party leadership? Well, it turns out this is about way more than just one file.
For a guy like Thomas Massie, it's about the very foundation of D.C. He knows people care about taxes and the economy, but his argument is, you can't fix any of that if the whole place is corrupt to begin with. And for someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, this is pure populist fuel. She's all in on exposing what she calls the cabal of rich and powerful elites that enabled this. It's about tearing down a system she sees as totally broken. Then you've got Democrat Khanna, and for him, it boils down to one simple, powerful word: trust. His whole point is that you can't restore people's faith in government if you're hiding things. You just got to release it all.
And that brings us right back to now. The pressure campaign is in full swing, the rebels are not backing down, and this whole thing is hanging by a thread.
It all boils down to one tiny number: 2. If we assume all the Democrats sign on, Massie just needs 2 more Republicans to join him. That's it. Just 2 more to force this vote. So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Will 2 more Republicans have the guts to defy the White House and their own leadership? The fate of every single one of those Epstein files could be decided, like, any day now.
All right, now I want to know what you think. Will they get the votes? Is this whole thing gonna happen? Drop your prediction in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more explainers just like this. Thanks for hanging out.